Okay, can we unmute? Mr. Perez Garcia, would you raise your hand for me, please?
Señor Pérez García, ¿podría usted levantar su mano derecha para mí?
Mr. Perez Garcia, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Pérez García, ¿puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down, sir.
Ok, señor, puede bajar su mano.
Mr. Bryant, I asked for you to be present also because you're in the same position as Mr. Perez Garcia. So I'm going to ask you to please pay attention, and I'm going to deal with him first, and then I'm going to come to you second. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Perez Garcia, my name is Brad Gardner. I am a magistrate judge here in Clayton County.
Señor Pérez García, mi nombre es Brad Gardner y yo soy un juez del Tribunal de Primera Instancia aquí en el condado de Clayton.
The purpose of this hearing is not to take a plea of your case or to have a trial of your case.
El propósito de esta audiencia no es aceptar una declaración a cargos en su caso o tener un juicio en su caso.
You are here on what's called a fugitive from justice warrant.
Usted está acá en lo que le llaman una orden de arresto porque es fugitivo de la justicia.
And what that basically means is that there's a warrant for your arrest out of a different state.
Y esto básicamente lo que significa es que hay una orden de arresto para usted en un estado diferente.
And that state has indicated that they wish to extradite you.
Y este estado ha indicado que ellos desean extraditarlo.
And what that basically means is they want to bring you back to their jurisdiction to have a trial possibly on these charges.
Y lo que esto significa es que ellos lo quieren traer a usted a su jurisdicción para posiblemente tener un juicio en su caso.
And in your case, sir, there is a warrant for your arrest out of the Westchester County Department of Public Safety for a DUI.
Y en su caso, señor, hay una orden de arresto de Westchester y esto es por un cargo de manejar embriagado.
And it says that it's a felony warrant and that they intend to extradite you.
Y dice que esto es una orden de arresto por un delito grave y que ellos tienen la intención de extraditarlo.
Now, for warrants as this, you have options.
Ahora, para orden de arresto como esta, usted tiene opciones.
You can demand to have an extradition hearing to determine whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether the warrant actually states a charge.
Usted puede tener una audiencia de extradición para decidir si usted es la persona nombrada en la orden de arresto y para decidir si en esta orden de arresto existe un cargo en su contra.
If you were to tell me today that you wanted to have an extradition hearing sometime between today and the next 90 days, there will be a hearing.
Si usted me dijera en el día de hoy que usted quiere tener una audiencia de extradición, a partir de la fecha de hoy o entre hoy y 90 días, entonces usted tendría esa audiencia de extradición.
The purpose of that hearing will not be to determine whether you are guilty or innocent. It will be solely to determine whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether the warrant actually presents a charge.
El propósito de esta audiencia no sería para determinar si usted es culpable o es inocente. El propósito de esa audiencia sería solo para determinar si usted es la persona nombrada en la orden de arresto y si esta orden de arresto presenta o contiene un cargo.
At the end of that hearing, if the judge determines that you are the person named in the warrant and it does present a charge, the judge will sign off on a governor's writ, which would allow the state of New York to come and pick you up.
Y al final de esa audiencia, si el juez determina de que usted es la persona nombrada en la orden de arresto y de que sí existe el cargo, entonces el juez firmaría esto o se lo pasaría, le pasaría la orden al gobernador, la orden sería firmada por el gobernador y el estado de Nueva York podría venir a buscarlo.
Upon signing that extradition warrant or governor's warrant, New York would have a minimum of 30 days to come and retrieve you.
Y después de haber firmado esta orden, o después que esta orden haya sido firmada por el gobernador, entonces el estado de Nueva York tendría un mínimo de 30 días para venir a retirarlo.
If the state of New York asks for an extension, they potentially could get an additional 30-day extension.
Y si el estado de Nueva York pide una extensión, ellos potencialmente le podrían dar 30 días adicionales.
The sheriff of Clayton County may decide to either grant or deny that request for an extension.
Y el comisario del condado de Clayton podría decidir otorgarle la extensión o negársela.
If the state of New York does not come and retrieve you within the time period, you will be released.
Y si el estado de Nueva York no viene y lo retira durante ese periodo de tiempo, entonces a usted lo pondrían en libertad.
However, the warrant does not go away.
Sin embargo, eso no le quita a usted la orden de arresto.
So if you are released, you can encounter another law enforcement official 5 minutes after being released, and they will run your information, see that you have a warrant, and this process starts all over again.
O sea, que si a usted lo ponen en libertad, puede ser que usted entre en contacto con un agente del orden público 5 minutos después. Ellos revisan su información y luego este proceso tendría que comenzar nuevamente.
You also have the option of waiving the hearing that I discussed earlier.
Usted también tiene la opción de renunciar a tener la audiencia de la que hablamos anteriormente. O sea, no tener esta audiencia.
If you were to waive that hearing today, the 30 to 60-day period that I mentioned earlier will begin to run today.
Y si usted renuncia a esta audiencia en el día de hoy, el periodo de 30 a 60 días que yo le mencioné anteriormente comienza a contar a partir del día de hoy.
No matter what decision you choose to make here today, it is in your best interest to retain an attorney to represent you in Westchester County.
Y no importa cuál sea la decisión que usted tome acá en el día de hoy, lo que a usted más le conviene sería contratar un abogado en el condado de Westchester.
If you hire an attorney, that attorney may be able to negotiate a bond up in Westchester County for your release.
Y si usted contrata un abogado, este abogado podría negociar una fianza en el condado de Westchester para que usted lo pongan en libertad.
As I indicated earlier, Clayton County has no interest in your guilt or innocence in this case.
Como yo le dije anteriormente, el condado de Clayton no tiene ningún interés en su culpabilidad o inocencia en este caso.
And if the sheriff of Clayton County were to receive information that you have a bond on this charge, you will be released.
Y si la comisaría del condado de Clayton no recibiera información de que a usted lo pueden poner en libertad porque ya tiene una fianza, entonces a usted lo pondrían en libertad.
Do you have any questions so far?
¿Tienes tú alguna pregunta hasta acá?
Yo quería regresarme a mi país.
Usted dijo que usted quiere regresar a su país.
Sí.
I would like to go back to my country.
Okay, that's beyond the scope of this hearing.
Esto está fuera de las cosas con las que estamos lidiando en esta audiencia.
If you want to go back to your country, that is something that Westchester County would have to consider.
Si usted quiere regresar a su país, eso sería algo que el condado de Westchester tendría que tomar en consideración.
So, sir, do you know, well, first, do you have any other questions?
Primero, señor, ¿tiene usted alguna otra pregunta?
No.
No.
Do you know what you want to do? Do you want to have a hearing or waive the hearing?
¿Sabe usted lo que usted quiere hacer? ¿Quiere usted tener la audiencia o quiere renunciar a la audiencia? O sea, no tenerla.
No le entendí eso, pregunta.
Repita. Repita, por favor.
No lo entendí la pregunta.
I didn't understand the question.
Sir, do you want to waive the extradition hearing to Westchester County, or do you want to have a hearing to determine whether you should return to Westchester County?
Señor, ¿quiere usted renunciar a la audiencia de extradición para el condado de Westchester, o quiere usted tener la audiencia para determinar si usted va a regresar al condado de Westchester?
Continuar con la audiencia de Winchester.
Repita.
Continuar con la audiencia de Winchester.
To continue with the hearing to Westchester.
Okay. So we will set a hearing sometime between now and the next 90 days to determine whether you should go back to Westchester County. However, I want you to understand, sir, Westchester County is the only place that can determine whether you go back to your country or not.
Ok, entonces nosotros vamos a fijar una audiencia entre ahora y los próximos 90 días para determinar si usted va a regresar al condado de Westchester. Sin embargo, tome en consideración que el condado de Westchester sería el único que puede decidir si usted va a regresar a su país.
Okay, thank you, sir. You'll receive notice of the hearing.
Ok, señor. Usted va a recibir una notificación diciéndole cuándo va a ser la audiencia.
Okay.
You're free to go back, Mr. Perez Garcia.
Puede retirarse, señor Pérez García.
Thank you, Ms. Bermudez.
You are very welcome, Judge. It was nice talking to you.
It was nice talking to you too. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Mr. Bryant. Sir, did you hear the conversation I had with Mr. Perez Garcia?
Yes, sir.
You are here on a warrant, it appears, out of Wayne County, Michigan.
Oakland County.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oakland County?
It says Wayne County, Michigan, Detroit PD, for failure to appear for homicide by vehicle.
It's weird, yeah. I mean, it's in Michigan, but it's supposed to be Oakland County. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you have any questions based upon what you heard my explanation to Mr. Perez Garcia?
No, sir.
Do you have an idea of what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm ready. Send me back up there. Send me back to Michigan.
Okay, once you sign the waivers, sir, they'll send them over to me, and then I will sign them and the clock begins to run today. But again, like I said to Mr. Perez Garcia, it's in your best interest to get an attorney as quickly as possible.
No, I got a lawyer up there.
Okay. Okay. All right, sir. If you don't have any more questions, you are free to go back.
All right, that's it.
Thank you. Okay, let's begin with the full group. Okay, are you Mr. Eberhardt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Eberhardt, and this is for everyone. My name is Brad Gardner. I'm a magistrate court judge here in Clayton County. I'm not here to take a plea in your case. We're not here to have a trial in your case. I'm here simply to tell you what you've been charged with, give you court dates, to see if you need the assistance of an attorney, and to answer any questions that you may have. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Eberhardt, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery. This is a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, to stay away from a Frank Antonia Calloway. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Farmer.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Farmer, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. You're also charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct. Bond is set by schedule at $1,500, which means it's automatically set. And you're also charged with 1 count of obstructing an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. These are all misdemeanor offenses. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
So I'm retired military.
Okay. Now, being retired military, you know that was non-responsive to my question.
What's the question?
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sir.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
You said you're retired. I'm going to find that you do qualify. Now, these are misdemeanor offenses. I know that Judge Mack in Superior Court has started up a veterans court. With these being misdemeanors, I don't know if you'll be able to get into that program, but I have appointed a lawyer to represent you, and I would ask you to make that request of your lawyer. I know sometimes they'll fashion a sentence that allows people to take advantage of the program. But that's something that you're going to have a discussion with your lawyer as to whether that's in your best interest or not. Okay?
Sir.
Any questions?
Sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. James. Mr. James, you're charged with 1 count of burglary, which is a felony offense, and 1 count of possession of tools during the commission of a crime. I've denied bond on both of these offenses because it appears that you're already on bond out of a case in, I believe, Newton County. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for December 12th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for December 16th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyer? I'm going to find that you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Kukendall? Sir, you're charged with 1 count of possession with intent to distribute marijuana. I'm going to set a bond in this case. I'm going to set the bond at $10,000. This is a felony offense. There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for December 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay, sir, I'm going to find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Mine was 10,000.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. I don't have any more questions.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Lawson. Mr. Lawson, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery, family violence. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're charged with 1 count of interference. I'm sorry, theft by taking. That's a felony offense.
It's good. I'm sorry.
Sir, I'm going to allow ask whatever questions you want to ask. Okay, just let me get out what I need to tell you, and then I'm going to shut my mouth and listen. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You're charged with 1 count of theft by taking. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $7,500. You're charged with 1 count of interference with custody. That's a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, a stay away from a Jessica Edwards. Do you understand that, sir? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. I understand. I was trying to tell you that everything was returned that day, so and everything was returned that day, so it never was.
Mr. Lawson, let me stop you, please. I promise I'm going to listen. Okay.
So,
your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
yes, sir.
Are you currently working? I'm sorry, it's the audio is going in and out. Are you currently working?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Lawson. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, I'm going to listen. However, I want to caution you. This is being recorded. Anything you say can be used against you.
Yes, sir.
When you say that, well, everything was returned, that could be considered an admission against interest.
I was saying because we lived together and we used the same car and we shared the same kids, so it was like it was a misunderstanding.
Hey, that's for you and your lawyer to discuss. Okay.
Sir.
I say that because I don't know what Miss Edwards' side of the case is, right? So you're telling me one thing, you're making admissions, but then she may be on a totally different page. And you have cut down the steps that the prosecution has to prove for your guilt because you're thinking one thing without having spoken to your lawyer. Okay, sir? So whatever happened, I guarantee you that you would not be here if Miss Edwards had not participated in some form or fashion with the narrative that led to these 3 arrest warrants being issued for your arrest. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
So please speak to your lawyer. Now, with that being said, is there something you want to tell me?
Sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir. Mr. Mason. Mr. Mason, sir, you're charged with 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're charged with 1 count. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That's also a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And you're charged with 1 count of obstructing an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for December 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify? I'm going to let you speak, sir. I promise. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, I'm going to find that you do qualify. Now, Mr. Mason, what is it that you wanted to tell me?
Getting booked in that DUI, I had to get a ticket for that 2 days prior, and it was like a ticket warrant. I didn't get charged for DUI at this last incident. I only had two charges. I got when I got sent to the to the hospital. I was released and I received 3 tickets. So I don't know how I got getting booked in for the DUI when it was already got the ticket for that and got released with paperwork.
So the DUI is from November 27th. These other 2 charges are from November 28th. I can tell you what they say, but this is why we appoint lawyers, so that you can have that conversation with your lawyer. And if there is a way to deal with it, your lawyer can deal with it.
That's what they told me in intake. When they were booking me in, they said it's a ticket warrant. But I already received the ticket for it 2 days prior because I was in an accident, and I got out and they released me with my tickets. But then I just got locked up, and it's like I'm being charged again, and got a bond out on the DUI, but I already got a ticket for it. They gave me my ticket. I'm just waiting for my court date in the mail.
Okay, so what I see is that the officer, Tiamat, came down on November 27th at almost 11 o'clock in the morning and swore out this warrant for your arrest. Now, the fact that you got a ticket.
He gave me a ticket at the hospital and released me.
I understand. That is a discussion to have with your lawyer about, hey, they've charged me twice. I'm not aware of any thing under the law that says you can't receive a citation and then they later swear out a warrant for your arrest.
Okay.
So, but again, that's a discussion to have with your lawyer who's there to defend you. I'm here to just give you the bad news. Okay?
Yes.
All right. You're free to go back, Mr. Mason.
Also, I was told to ask for a signature bond.
No, sir. No, sir.
Signature bond.
No, sir.
But I have bond. I can bond out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why is one of my bonds 3,000 and somebody else's was 1,000? Why is mine 3,000 and one of them charged the criminal trespass?
So there are two types of criminal trespass. One is being in a place that you were told not to be. That is less than destroying property.
I didn't destroy any property or anything like that, sir.
Okay. I tell you what, Mr. Mason, I'm gonna give you $1,000 bond on the criminal trespass.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And as far as why we can't do anything about like being double charged. Like if I had it in paper, then I'd be able to show you, but I'm being double charged on the same DUI.
You're not double charged. So this is what may have happened. You said that you were in an accident. You went to the hospital, right?
And I got released from there. They gave me my 3 tickets, and he said I'm good.
So the DUI is something that most often you're going to be arrested upon. If you're in the hospital and there's a warrant pending for your arrest, there has to be somebody sitting there next to you and you got handcuffs while you're sitting there in the hospital bed. So they say, you know what? Let's just give them a citation. We'll get a warrant later, which they can do. So I'll say it this way. You get a citation and then your case goes over to state court and the solicitor decides to draw up formal charges. They can request a bond on that, which means you have to come in and be fingerprinted and post a bond. So I hear everything you're saying. You have to speak to your lawyer about how best to deal with that. Okay? All right, sir. Free to go back. Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas, sir, you're charged with 1 count of terroristic threats. That's a felony offense. I'm denying bond on that charge. You're charged with 1 count of disruption of an operation of a public school. That's a misdemeanor. I'm setting a $5,000 bond. And you're charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct. I'm setting a $1,500 bond. You're going to be ordered to stay away from 3187 Rex Road, Rex, Georgia, Clayton County, which is commonly known as Adamson Middle School. If you violate the condition of this bond, you could be held for aggravated stalking and you'll be held without bond. Because of the felony offense, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for December 12th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for December 16th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Yes? Okay. Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
I understand you denying bond, but I'm not explaining my case. It was my daughter was being bullied, and I went to school and we had a conversation. But I'm trying to see how it is a threat. I'm just confused because, and even though I had a charge on me, and a terrorist threat is something serious. It was a discussion. I'm not trying to argue, but I can just get a bond on it because I have a job. I can't lose my job, sir. And it was just an argument. It wasn't a threat. I'm not. Okay. I just have a job, sir. Please don't. I can't lose my job.
No, I understand, Mr. Thomas. I understand. And I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. So maybe unbeknownst to you, this whole exchange was videotaped. An officer reviewed the videotape. And I'm sorry for the language, but it says that you were screaming at the principal, and I'm going to use the language. You pussy ass nigga, you don't do your fucking job, nigga. You scared, you little pussy ass nigga. I blow through this motherfucker. Fuck this school, pussy ass school. I'll meet you out there, nigga, off these school grounds, and whatever, nigga, we can do it. To nigga. So with schools being shot up, things being happening, apparently you shut the school down. The kids, the release of they shut everything down because you decided to come there and say these things. I'm going to let you speak. You asked, and I'm telling you. So, sir, you know, the first thing they say about our communities is how bad our schools are. And I know you're saying, hey, my daughter's being bullied. Go to the superintendent. Go to the school board. Go to the places where you can air your grievances. You don't go shut the school down because you feel as though you can do it. You weren't thinking about your job at the time that you went up in there and started threatening people. So, sir, I can only care about you more than you care about yourself. So that's the basis. Now, I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Lawyer may go to the district attorney and they may agree, look, okay, Judge Gardner was being overly harsh, but that's a decision that they're going to make. And I'm telling you, it does not bring me any joy to do this. I have children in school. Yes, sir.
I promise you, I just let me get up. Your Honor, listen. I'm not, Your Honor. I mean, I went to everything you say, Your Honor. I have evidence. I can show you that we did it. The little girl that jumped on my daughter, and I did say, if you read it, I said, do your effing job. I said, because I went to that guy 7 times.
Okay.
I beg
Mr. Thomas, you've convinced me. I'm going to give you a $10,000 bond on terroristic threats. Stay awake conditions going to stay in effect. So you're going to have a total bond of $16,500. Okay, sir? Now, what you going to do the next time that your daughter is facing difficulty in school?
We're going back to the superintendent when I get out in the police. I won't go to the school no more. Let my wife deal with it. Because it just, if you would have seen the video, Your Honor, my daughter.
Look.
I'm going to the superintendent. We already did this, but I'm going back. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have my wife deal with it. And we made police reports. We got all this evidence. So
So Mr. Thomas, let me possibly put something else in your mind. Do you understand how that behavior may lead other students to disrespect teachers and principals, assistant principals, staff? Because if Mr. Thomas can come in here and cuss people out, then I can come in here and cuss people out. Sir, I do not know what ultimately happened. I do understand that you care about your daughter, but think about other people's daughters too. Think about the environment. And if something is being done, there are avenues that you can pursue that do not include inviting the school staff out to a fight. Do we understand each other, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you. So the bonus for everything, 16,000.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, y'all.
You're welcome. Mr. Wilsonot. Wilsono. Sir, you're charged with one count of theft of services. Sorry. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. Because this is a misdemeanor, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for December 13th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You currently working?
Excuse me?
Are you currently working?
Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per hour or per month?
About 30,000 a month.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, that appears to end the call of this calendar. Thank you all for your attendance and helpfulness. And I'll see you all tomorrow.